Hi again, folks. Welcome back to our course in college algebra. I wanted to talk a little bit about a property that the graph of a function should have. It kind of came up a little bit in our last video about finding the domain from a function's formula. If you go back and watch that, you'll see that I mentioned that every element in the domain of a function should be associated with exactly one element in the range. And that was why division by zero was a problem. If I was trying to put an element in the domain that made me divide by zero, well then I can't figure out what the output is. So that element can't be in the domain, because there won't be an element over here in the range for me to match it with. So that was a problem. There can be another kind of problem because each element in the domain should be matched up with exactly one element in the range. So for example, if I had a graph that looked like this, let's say I was proposing that this was a function. Let's say, could this be a function? Well, let me ask you this. What would f of 2 be? Well, we can see the point 2, 3 is on the graph, so f of 2 should be 3. But we also see 2, negative 3 is on the graph. So what is f of 2? Is it 3 or is it negative 3? Okay, so because of this ambiguity, we do not allow things like this to happen for our functions. You might remember this as the vertical line test. Okay, the graph of a function needs to pass the vertical line test. And what that means is that if I draw a vertical line that can intersect the graph in more than one place, if there's any vertical line that I can draw that touches my graph in multiple places, then this is not a function. Okay, notice the x-axis does not count as the graph, okay? By the graph, I mean this circle right here, okay? So, if you have a graph and you want to know whether or not it could be the graph of a function, one quick thing is do the vertical line test. If you can draw a vertical line that intersects the graph in more than one place, then you do not have a function. Okay? Conversely, if you do have a function, then any vertical line you draw should intersect the graph at most once. More than once, not a function. If you do have a function, then every vertical line can intersect the graph in at most one place.